Hey y'all, it's Jenni Moseley, and we are here live with the Elevate Effect. It's time to take the dental field to a whole nother level. Fly with me, folks. Let's get real and let's get uncomfortable. Well, hello, everybody. We are here today in a beautiful, crisp day in Savannah, and we have Kaka.
Oh, no.
Do explain.
The Kaka?
Yeah.
So my niece couldn't say Erika well. So what came out of her was Kaka. And
Wait a second. You just said what came out of her is Kaka.
Oh, no. What she called me was Kaka, and it stuck, and here we are. 15
and I
years
had a
later.
child 7.5 years ago, and now she calls Erika Kaka as well. So
To her friends.
we have Kaka with us today, a big pile of beep. Anyway, so welcome, Kaka.
Thank you.
Yes. So today we wanted to kind of discuss, I mean, Eric and I are two people that hopefully bond or touch somebody out there that's feeling the same way we do. You when you're young and you have aspirations, you choose to do something in life. I feel like I've had this conversation many times, even with some patients, that I don't believe 18 years old is an age to go to college.
No.
It's
a big decision to make at a young age.
It is, because one, it's money, it's time, and I feel like 18 to 21, you either need to work or go to some technical thing and just kind of learn the world a little bit. And then by the time you can actually drink and make adult decisions, then you should go to college.
I agree.
And it's frustrating because, I'm sure a lot of people out there that are maybe members of a dental practice, or maybe just in a profession, that you wonder every day why you're in it. The patients maybe keep us in it, changing their lives and seeing them every day and watching them start sad and end incredibly powerful for themselves. But it's just a tough gig. I mean, the dental field is a tough gig to live in, folks. And so we kind of wanted to talk about that because we've been together over a decade.
Yep.
Wow.
It went fast.
Good, long time. And, when we first met, Erika was just starting in her career, and I was kind of just starting in a different type of career in the dental field, which was more of a ownership, leadership type thing. And for me, I was trying to take what I really wanted to be, which was working like money and business and stuff. And I was trying to figure out how to incorporate that in the dental field. And Erika had just started doing hygiene, and she was a mobile hygienist for a second. And then we met in a neuromuscular practice, and the journey began. And we tend to look at each other all the time and say, why are we in this field? And it's sad. So the big question is, does everybody do that in every profession?
Yeah, I haven't thought about it that way. I've heard a lot of other hygienists say, I'm only going to do this for 10 years, or I'm only going to do this for 15 years. And then you have the other side of people who stick with it for 30 years and are completely fine. So I don't know. I don't know if it's a thing with everybody or if it's just a dental hygiene thing.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, a couple days ago, I did some hygiene, and what a fascinating moment, because I was sitting there. I mean, honestly, I was sitting there as I was cleaning teeth going, I can't think.
Yeah.
Right. Like, and it made me also realize, we teach a lot of people systems and processes. And a lot of times when you put a process or a system to somebody, they feel in a box and they can't seem to be themselves. And that, I feel, is like hygiene. You're told how to scale. You're told the process of, okay, you got to probe, then you got to scale, then you got to polish, then you got to floss, and and then you're in that process thinking, well, how am I going to talk? I mean, when I don't have time to do this, and I don't have time to do this, you're
well, hygienists don't have a problem talking to people. A lot of people talk the whole time they're cleaning teeth. It's just what we talk about that can be difficult, I think.
Okay, so see, that's probably where I felt disconnected, because I don't socialize. My talking has to have something that has to do with an end result, which is that's just who I am. I'm not saying I'm right. It just sucks sometimes. So I'm sitting here going, I can't be that creative mind right now. I could talk about music and my kid and all this kind of stuff, but I can't be intentful because I have to be in this process. And it's weird, I'm beginning to teach this girl starting next week in California, and it's in trying to come up with a class for her, if you will. And she's never been in dentistry, and she's going to be a new patient coordinator. And so I said, I think I would start the first two times of just talking about the language, because alone we have to have mesial, distal, incisal, and class 5, and curve of Spee, and shimbashi, and all these weird words that, people have no clue about. But yet, couldn't we just say the curve of your tooth, the backside, the corner, And so in thinking all that, I'm like, gosh, there's just so much intricate stuff in dentistry that's so already hard to learn, that then when you throw something different into it, the difference seems hard, but the difference easier. It's almost as though that what they've learned already was the hard stuff, and it's like they're afraid to get rid of the hard and add something else, and the something else becomes the hard. And it's like, wait, this is actually easier.
Well, the part that when I actually do it, that it feels easier is really asking people what they want. I mean, for some reason, it's easy as a dental person to just tell people what we think they need, and that happens easy. But for whatever reason, it's hard to ask somebody what they want that's right in front of you, that's coming to you for something. But have you ever even asked them, why do they want to get their teeth clean that day? What do they see that they're going to get from it? Do they like the way it feels? Do they like the way their teeth look after? What about it makes them come?
Yeah, I mean, why is that a hard question? It's weird,
It
isn't
is
it?
weird.
But yet
But it is hard. I mean, I've felt it be hard because it's easier just to go in there and go through the motions and just put them in the chair and then they quit talking to you and
well,
just
how
do
many
it.
stories have you heard a patient come and said, I was at my other office, and I mean, she was just mean. She was lecturing me. She was telling me you didn't floss. Well, that's why is that easier?
I don't know.
It's
It's
so
so weird.
it's so weird. I don't know if we in the dental field, when you go to school or whatever, you just feel like you get the because you have the knowledge, you get the right to do it. I don't know.
And that's really the whole medical field's that kind of that way though, really. You know, you go in somewhere and you sit there and they tell you all these things you need, and I've been to a lot of not dental but other appointments lately, and no one's ever asked me what I really want. They just assume because I'm in that office they know.
Yeah, well, that's the big key is assumptions. We all do it. It's awful. It's hard. Um, well, I guess the only thing, we're so unique in what we're trying to do, and I'm just so proud of it, that it becomes really hard because when you have a clear vision, you lose a lot of people. And because when your vision is so incredibly clear, anything that disrupts it, you're okay to lose that disruption if it gets in the way of your vision. If you're in okay, for example, we have a very unique place, and it's a lot of people want it, and it's just hard to do. You lose to get it. You lose a ton to get it. But then when you have it, you've got to have somebody who keeps it. And we have a lot of times where it's easily that it can go away. And when you fight to stand for it, you lose either people, patients, patients with a TS, not CE. You can lose really close people to you because they might want to change that. And you, the one who stands for it, you get in a lot of fights, you get in a lot of arguments, you get in a lot of debates. And it's a constant. I mean, I don't know if you ever really have 2 days in a row without some kind of confrontation.
with coworkers,
Coworkers,
with
patients,
well, no,
it's
that's
every
not.
day.
Yeah,
But the difference in the confrontation in our office is standing for a vision. The confrontation
yes,
in the general mill of an office is just, scenarios that come up, complaints or running late or money or bills or insurance or whatever. I'm talking about ours are elective. I mean, these are elective debates that happen daily because of something happening to stop the vision or the system. Like Erika was saying, for example, we like to ask people what they want. If we don't do that first, that creates a debate.
What do you mean?
Okay, so you see somebody and all of a sudden you hear, how about we have an emergency visit? And then all of a sudden I walk by the room and I hear a dentist's drill going. And I'm like, what the hell? We obviously didn't ask the patient what they wanted because nobody wants a drill to their tooth. So, yes.
I hate to, you say ask them what they want, because that's not really enough.
Okay. So somebody calls up and has an emergency. And in our office, if it's a true dental emergency, then they have to come see us within 24, 48 hours. If they do not choose that visit, then it's not an emergency. And so they do not get an emergency visit a week later.
So
That right there is a clear vision. And that would create a debate with another employee or with the patient, because the patient would go, what do you mean? I don't have the time. Well, then it's not a dental emergency. In our practice, that's what we do because we're very mindful of schedule and efficiency, and all of our patients deserve what we tell them. So if I have a patient that is needing 2 hours and they reserved it, they paid for it, and you call on the telephone and you want to come right next to them, that's catty corner or whatever you do in normal dental offices, and now all of a sudden there's 2 people at one time because this patient said he needed it, not going to happen.
Chaos.
Hmm?
It's chaos.
Yeah. And so that is what I'm talking about. So if that person comes in for an emergency and you sit down and you say, all right, so you broke a tooth. Yeah. Okay. Well, you want to fix the tooth? We can do a crown. Yeah. I mean, that's why I'm here. Okay. And you start fixing the tooth and doing a crown. That's not what we
That's
do.
not, yeah.
We say, okay, so bear with me, but did you enjoy having this tooth break? No. So, let me ask you some questions so I can figure out how to help you. Do you feel like your mouth is healthy? No. Or yes. Okay. Well, do you feel like we're being as proactive as possible? What do you mean? Well, do you want to know that there's ways that you could have avoided this from happening? Sure. Okay. So, do you want to talk about that today? Yeah. So what you're saying to me is you want to be preventive? Yes. Okay. Well, let's talk about how to be preventive. Drilling on your tooth is not being preventive. It's actually being reactive.
Yeah.
That's
the tooth's already broken.
So the confrontation of that is, one, having a clear vision and saying when that patient comes in, you're to find out what they want. And what they want is not a drill to their tooth. Trust me. So if you want to do it this way, sit them down and going, hey, you want us to drill your tooth today? And they could go, no, I want you to fix my tooth. Well, wait, no, I'm saying, do you want me to drill your tooth? Well, if that's going to fix it, well, it's not going to fix it. It's going to drill your tooth.
Yeah.
So see, like, and we have those kinds of conversations with each other.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think it's very, and I'll just speak for myself. Maybe you can speak for you, but it's very hard to work with me. I'm sure of it.
No. Some days, yes. No, here's what's difficult is I have days I don't necessarily feel like going through the whole thing with you. And you always do it. No matter what I'm talking about, it's going to be a whole thing. A whole thing.
Yes.
Like,
that's a person with a clear vision.
But it's irritating, but it always gets to a place that either makes me realize what I was saying or what I was thinking isn't necessarily what I was doing. For example, trying to eat differently. You said something about even...
I said this. Let's do it now. Okay. So I said, Erika, what... I said, what something.
Well, my
what
lunch,
are you trying to do
my
right
lunch
now?
is different.
Well, your lunch was different. I said, oh, so now all of a sudden you're eating healthy, and you said something.
I'm trying something different. I'm trying not to eat as much white flour.
Oh, and I said, what did I can't remember how
You
it was
said,
awesome.
what do you eat that has white flour in it?
Oh yeah, okay. What do you eat that has white flour?
And I said pizza, of course.
And I said, okay, well, you can eat pizza differently.
Yes, but to eat it differently, it's expensive.
And I said, so really you don't enjoy as much the pizza itself. You enjoy it being cheap.
Well, then that made me think, what about this is actually annoying is the planning that I have to put into it to make all that happen.
Right. So then what do you really want? You want quick and cheap. You don't, it's not about the food, damn it.
I want quick, cheap, and to feel better.
I mean,
I want
right.
all of it.
So guess what? You can't have that. You can't drill on a tooth. You can't drill on a tooth and fix a problem. You can't eat cheap and fast food and get healthy. It's not going to happen. That's the struggle I have, so it's like,
So I had to pick one.
right. So, I mean, and again, I can't wait to get Reeves back on here too, because we have been battling daily as we always do. Every day there's a battle every day. And well, with everybody here. And I can't, like I said, I'm sure by Friday afternoon, everyone's like, can't wait to get away from this bitch.
She's
swear.
leaving early today.
Yeah. When I say I'm leaving early, they're like, yippee. Or if I say we're not having an afternoon meeting, yippee, the bitch is gone.
No.
It's true. It's fine.
We love to learn.
It's, I love that they hate my time. I'll tell you why. If they loved my time, then it wouldn't be more meaningful. All right, guys. Well, lots of information we went over. That was the end of part 1. Stay tuned. We got a whole nother section of part 2 coming next week.